So my name is Wanda Bruno, and I had been in the fashion industry for years and years and years, a long time. And I was a technical designer for Ralph Lauren, for Betsy Johnson, some other names, and also some stores and things like it was on the design team for Saks Fifth Avenue, what their in-house design, Brooks Brothers. So and then I eventually opened up my own fashion school, and it turned out great. People were showing at Fashion Week. We went to Paris. We went to Italy. It was great. But then, after 15 years, it ended. With a little help of the pandemic, it ended. And then I was here in Long Island as a stay-at-home mom, and kind of chomping at the bit of what I was going to do next. My husband reminded me that I was into real estate years ago, and I kind of forgot. And I said, maybe that is something. So I thought, what the heck? How am I going to do this without people? So I was driving one day in Brooklyn, and I saw this sign on the wall on like a pole, and it said "Learn real estate investing." And I thought, I do want to learn it. So I called, and who should pick up but Joe? So Joe was like, "Hey, we were talking." And I was like, "Cut to it, brother. What is it all about?" And so he eventually invited me to this type of thing right here. This is a property tour. So that was my first time getting or familiar with this community. And what, to my surprise, there was people. There was people live on Zoom. I wasn't just sitting at home watching some recorded video from 2 years ago on YouTube or 5 years ago. This was live, and people were talking and asking questions. Woohoo! I love that, asking questions. And I was like flabbergasted. I thought, wow, these people were in the Northeast. They were in Long Island with me. They were in Brooklyn where I was, Queens. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I think I stumbled into exactly what I was looking for. So I thought, hey, I told my husband, listen, I think I found this great group and it's real estate investing. And Joe is Haitian. All I had to tell my husband was that he was Haitian. And he was like, okay, you in. I trust them. So that's how I started. And that's how I found this amazing community, how I found Joe, and he introduced me to Jay and a lot of these people that are in not only this local group, but then we're nationwide. The other big win was, yes, I saw the people, but also when I realized and Joe explained, and you guys in the different meetings that I just kind of jumped into, that there was a whole thing. It wasn't just the people; it was education. And I love that because I had a little school, and so we had our curriculum and the whole nine. And I was like, wow. Now I didn't feel like I would be afraid that I wasn't piecing it all together for myself anymore. Now I realized, after hubby said yes, there was an educational component and a track and a syllabus and step by step, and then mentorship. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, sign me up. So that was the other thing that, in addition to the people, all the other pieces that we had in place in this community was really what got me
in. Has your idea of money or your relationship with money changed since you've been in the real estate game?
It definitely has. It has, maybe not only because I had a $20,000 a month or $8,000 a month or $10,000 a month, things like that. But really being around folks, and in our community, I'm hearing the deals where someone's making 30,000 and they had to, put down, they had to, show proof of funds of 100K or 40,000 or 5,000, or they did these big deals with hardly any money in the deal and all those things. And so my having, a great month, 1 month, and, a pretty good month, and trying to keep it consistent going forward. Yes, it does change. It makes me realize that money is just a tool to get the deals done. And the reality is many times it doesn't even have to be your own money. And as long as you perform, and you can give, whoever was involved in the deal, back what you promised. It's easy. It's easier. I shouldn't say it's just simpler. It's not as scary to me. Many times we're just not aware. We don't have the knowledge and we don't know that we can do it, whether we have all the. Now, there's so many strategies that if you are one of those like me that didn't have any money and you're not sure about your credit or you think it's, not so great, then you can just use a different strategy, to acquire that property. It's building relationships with people, and it's educating yourself so that you're not. A lot of times, the fear comes from in life. In fact, a lot of fear just comes from ignorance, not knowing, because no one told us. I know my parents didn't tell me, because they didn't know. So I would hear Carlton Sheets talking about no money down, and I thought he literally meant there was no money, but there is money. It just don't have to be your money. And so once you learn things, the confidence comes, and then it feels less risky because it's now an educated risk. I'll take an educated risk, but when I don't have the education, then I'm like in the dark. And I'm not throwing money in the dark like that.
Once you know, see, the thing is, money is an obstacle. Money is a blockage to most people that don't understand and most people that don't know what's going on with this game. The biggest thing is what you know. See, your knowledge is the biggest value that you can bring to the real estate game. What you know, because everything that Wanda's been talking about is things that she learned. She learned, right? Either whether she learned as she got better as she did it, or whether she learned it, the concept first, and then went out and did it. Asked questions to know more. So the main thing that she did, and the main thing that I think is a challenge for a lot of people, is ask questions to know more. And most people don't get started because they just don't put enough value on knowledge first. A lot of people think that, hey, look, I don't have credit, I don't have money, so I can't get started in real estate. No, you don't have knowledge. It's not your money. It's not your credit. It's the fact that you don't know how to get money